Welcome to the Passion Driven Pioneers interview series. I am your host, John Shannon, and today I'm joined by Mike Clother, who is the president of the Precast Forte Group.
Thanks, John. Appreciate you having me. The Precast Forte Group is a product licensing company. I kind of got my start in engineering. So I worked as a consulting engineer for a couple Minnesota-based consulting engineering firms prior to joining what was then Recon Wall Systems. So all of the products that we license are in the precast concrete space. Past 20 years was an in-depth knowledge and understanding of how to license products. And so it was really that pivot, that switch from simply being more a retaining wall company to being a product licensing company that afforded us a new trajectory for growth.
What was kind of that work-life balance like when you stepped into that role, and was it any different than from your prior role?
But as far as work-life balance, I think the biggest thing that I, understood up front and continue to take into practice now is to just be intentional. Saying I am going to shut it down at 4:30, 5 o'clock. I am going to go to kids soccer games and stuff like that. I am going to take some time in the morning to read and just be with my thoughts, or I am going to plan vacations with my family. So I think it's really just being intentional and making sure to plan that time in, because otherwise it really can kind of get away from you, and it's very easy to become kind of consumed by.
But what's the future hold? What are some of those goals out there?
Isn't sitting down and just saying, look, I'm going to come up with a great idea. It's listening to other people around you and finding out what are their challenges, what are their struggles, and then really developing solutions based towards those. So we do have a couple products that we're looking to launch, and maybe some additional service opportunities, for our customers to continue to kind of build out our portfolio of product lines.
Do you have a formalized process at all for kind of gathering that voice of the customer as you're talking about, or are there certain customers that you know are a little bit more forward thinking than others?
We do some very specific voice of the customer stuff, interviews. We utilize some third-party consultants to help us with that service. I think it's good to understand how people feel about you, how they feel about your business, get that constant feedback, so that you can grow and improve. But as far as the products itself, a lot of that is just simply talking to, people that are kind of boots on the ground, contractors that are installing other systems, contractors that are working in the field. What challenges are they running into?
That this show, right, is targeted towards people that might be interested in maybe purchasing a business or in their first few years of business. Do you have any final thoughts you'd like to share with our audience today?
Yeah, I think probably one of the biggest tips for somebody that's kind of running a business, thinking about owning a business, get ready to be comfortable with feeling uncomfortable at times, learning new things and failing. Hopefully the failures aren't too big, but ultimately I think you learn a lot more from your failures than you really do from your successes. And so again, hopefully you're granted quite a few successes before you have to hit your first road bump. But I can tell you, you will learn a lot more from those road bumps. And then also really having a good clarity of what your goals and visions are.